Hello and welcome to Kayfabe Is Dead Podcast, episode 21. I am the voice of the youth Christian. How are you guys doing? I'm not doing too bad myself, and I truly am not. I took my first week off of the podcast, and I promise you it came with good reasoning. I was in Florida. I went to the Rolling Loud Festival concert. It was a big hip-hop concert that had... I really went for the headliner because I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan. And then even the people underneath him, Travis Scott, A$AP Rocky, Future, it was just a crazy lineup, Mac Miller. It was amazing, and I was busy. I was in Florida. I live in PA, so it's not like it's a little bit of a drive to me, you know. So I was down there with my girlfriend. Couldn't do a podcast, obviously. But I can't say I watched SmackDown Raw either because I missed that. I saw highlights after, and truthfully, I heard that it was okay that I missed it, that it was nothing special. So I didn't care to rewatch it or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it's the road to Backlash. We got Backlash coming this Sunday. So on this episode, you will get my Backlash predictions, my Raw review. I might talk a little bit about the last SmackDown, but spoiler alert, I was not digging it. And then there's a bunch of news. You know, I missed 2 weeks, so I missed 2 weeks worth of news. So I'll talk about that too. If you want my Backlash predictions, skip to the very, very ending. I'll probably say I don't know how. This is going to be a long podcast, if anything. A longer one. So definitely get strapped in. Get your headphones ready. Get your popcorn ready. Get all that good stuff going. Because I got a lot to talk about. And there's been many injuries, there's been many rumors of this and that, and I'm ready. I have no water near me, so I might have to go grab some in the middle of the podcast. You know, I'll probably say something real deep and thought-provoking, and then I'll just run off and get my Powerade real quick. So, because my voice be kicking out at 2, like John Cena when it comes to the very ending, is barely surviving. So, we'll see how it is. But nevertheless, let's start with some news because I want to cover all the news out the way first. I want to leave you guys off with the Backlash predictions. So with the news, we got a few injuries. We got the Braun Strowman injury, which I was going to get into later, but why not just tackle it now? So, apparently he was injured come last week. And I don't know if I was able to talk about it on my last podcast, but I forgot what the injury was exactly. It was something with his elbow, and he was only supposed to be out 4 to 8 weeks, but this might have affected his title chance for Brock Lesnar come Great Balls of Fire. Great Walls of Fire, Great Balls of Fire. It was kind of up in the air if he'll still get that shot or not. But then again, it was also like a 4. It was 4 to 8 weeks, so he could come back in 4, and he's a monster, so he could, or it could be 8, and that might affect it even more. But now they found out after they did the surgery that under all that was a shattered elbow. Now I'm in the mix right now. People are saying it might just be kayfabe. It might just be part of the storyline. So my thoughts on kayfabe. It's dead. But I don't know, and they're saying maybe he just comes back and is a monster, You're like, oh my God, returning from a shattered elbow in 2 months, he's an absolute beast. He's a monster. That could work. I wouldn't mind that, and I'd rather that because I don't wish a shattered elbow. I don't even know what the hell a shattered elbow is. I never heard of such a thing. That sounds like an injury you get in Blitz, playing Blitz the League. If you guys remember that game on PS2 and Xbox back then. But yeah, that sounds like a mythical injury, a shattered elbow. That's crazy. But I hope for the best. I hope, last podcast or 2 podcasts ago, I said that Braun Strowman is my favorite thing going in the whole WWE right now. And that's still a fact, and that's still very true. And he was one of the main reasons to watch Raw. So without him, the ratings are already going down, which I should discuss as well. Why the ratings going down? Is it because of the NBA playoffs? I know for myself personally, this week's Monday Night Raw, I didn't watch. I watched after I seen Game 7 of the playoffs because I also have an NBA podcast. And truthfully, do I want to watch a Game 7 were Wizards and Celtics that turned out to be a great game and Kelly Olynyk just went the fuck off? Or do I want to watch Monday Night Raw where it's going to be commercials every 2 minutes and, I have to deal with Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews and, just comical bullcrap. Granted, this Raw was a great episode. I did enjoy this Raw. Another spoiler alert for you. This Raw was way better than SmackDown in my opinion. But, I had two choices, and I ended up going with the NBA choice because I can watch an NBA game. I can't watch an NBA game after it's done. Once I know the winner, I don't care for it. And Raw, I actually kind of enjoy watching when it's done because I don't have to deal with the commercials. I don't have to deal with, if I see a match that I'm not intrigued in, if I see Luke Gallows versus Enzo Amore for the 80 millionth time, I could just say, okay, well, skip. 15 minutes in, you know what I mean? It's so much simpler when you watch it after. So is that the reason for ratings? It might be. It's also the fact that this product is, momentum-wise, probably as dead as it's ever been. It's not that good. I mean, it's okay. The pay-per-views kind of prove you wrong here and there, but as far as the weekly television goes, SmackDown is better, but even SmackDown ratings are down. But Raw is just, it needs a little spark plug into it. And the Hardys should have been that. The Hardys should have been that. Brock Lesnar being champion should have been that. But the truth is, it's not panning out to be that. The Hardys are booked, they're booked like just another, I don't know how to phrase it. They're just booked like another wrestlers. And they shouldn't be. They're legends. They're the Hardys. They're were the hottest things going all 2016 and the beginning of 2017. They're the hottest act. Why they go to WWE and they're on the biggest stage of it all and their fuse just kind of dwindles down. I hope they get their shit together. But, I'm an avid fan, so of course I'm going to be watching. And Raw was good this week. SmackDown was a little but I guess you can't ask for it all. That's my take on the ratings. That's my take on Braun Strowman injury. Emma, she got injured as well. She got injured on the European tour from Sasha Banks. She flew back to the U.S. to get herself checked out and whatnot, but I think the injury is a lot better than what she expected. She tweeted not good news exactly, but it kind of seemed like it was hope for good news. So, I don't wish injuries upon anyone. And Emma was a part of the WWE or the Raw Women's Edition, and a women's division that I feel like could use Emma if they booked her right. A women's division that would have been way better if it was booked by NXT people and Triple H and his friends and his crew. But the Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn crew just love to just run through everything and destroy it and make it dry and seasonless. And what NXT is a good ass Thanksgiving meal, and then what the main roster is just like unseasoned turkey with unseasoned chicken with plain rice, or I don't know, plain pasta, whatever you eat. It's just completely dry to the bone, and it's food, so you're gonna eat it, but it's not good. You know what I mean? I don't know if that analogy even makes any sense, but that's how I truly feel about it. If that made any sense at all. But yeah, Emma, I hope for the best. I don't want to see anybody get injured, including you. You were great on NXT. Haven't been the best on the main roster, but hopefully that can change with your new, I guess not new gimmick, because you aren't Emelina, but with your new persona, maybe? You're still the same I don't know. Whatever the hell new is about you. You were that Emelina thing wasn't what we thought it was going to be. But nevertheless, I wish for the best as always. Alright, now I got two more. I got a few more pieces. Wow, yeah, the news has been crazy lately, but Adam Cole. I don't know too much about Ring of Honor, but if you're a wrestling fan in general, you know about Adam Cole. And Adam Cole is one of the top people on Ring of Honor. And he got kicked out of New Japan. Came Saturday, I think it was. last Saturday. And basically, once you get kicked out of kicked out of Bullet Club, that's what I meant. When you get kicked out of Bullet Club, it basically screams NXT, as it happened countless of times so far. So Adam Cole, it looks like you might be one of the people that appear come this Saturday at NXT Chicago. And if that's the case, I am very excited because I have not seen one match with you. I have not seen one moment with you. I just know how you look. And I know from word of mouth you are a great wrestler. So any talent such as that, I am excited to take on come, NXT, come main roster, WWE, whatever you want to call it. So excited about that. NXT has such a good influx of talent. It's almost like WWE's future has to be good. There's no way they could drain these such great talents into nothing. Once the Randy Orton, the John Cena's, the Brock Lesnar leaves, we're going to be stuck with, I don't know if we'll be stuck with the Eric Young and Bobby Roode, or even Nakamura in that case, because they're almost the same age as them. But even under that, there's just such great influx of talent lying on the NXT roster and NXT product. Unfortunately, I'm not watching it, which is kind of sad. But I haven't been watching it. So coming into NXT TakeOver Chicago, the fact that I'm done with school now makes it a little easier, because before I just had so much to do: work, school, podcast, my girlfriend. It's just a lot to tackle. Now I only got, school took out. It was 5 days a week. I was my freshman year of college, 5 days a week. The essays, the projects, the presentations, all that is gone. Now I wake up and I'm like, okay, what the hell am I gonna do today? And then I end up probably just washing my car or some shit like that. Like, it's good. It's a little boring, but NXT. I'm gonna try to watch it after. I'm gonna try to get a refreshment and try to just watch it come NXT Chicago from there on. And then if I enjoy the product, if I watch it all summer and enjoy the product and I stay on it, then maybe I watch it come next school semester. I never really got a chance to restart it. Last time I remember watching it like weekly was probably when Kevin Owens left. But then we had Finn Balor as champion. I was still watching Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, because those matches just kept happening and it was just a rehash of everything. That's probably when I stopped watching it weekly. And that's a while ago. That is a long time ago. It's just they kind of got old. That feud got old and everything else was just a rehash of everything. Asuka was just unbeatable, which I still enjoy. I'm glad she's unbeatable, and it looks like she's going to stay unbeatable. Ember Moon is injured. It's just, news never ending for this time. And it's just coming off the top of my head. I don't have no notes for this one. Ember Moon is injured. And I could have swore if I had to bet money, Ember Moon would have been the person to walk out of NXT TakeOver Chicago as champion. And it's a way to get Asuka not pinned, because it's a Fatal 5-way, I'm pretty sure, a Fatal 4-way or something like that. I'm going to have to look that up later so I can give you my quick predictions on that. But once again, I'm not watching the product, so I can't. Actually, I'm going to do my NXT TakeOver predictions now as I'm covering it. This show might be a little all over the place, but it's okay. Just stick with me, and, you get a little surprise here and there. But, yeah, I would have had Ember Moon walking out of this takeover as champion. And I just see the theme song is Judas by Fozzy, which is Chris Jericho's band. So, I didn't know. That's cool that they're promoting him like that. All right, so we only got 4 matches. We might have to wait for this Wednesday for another match to be announced. But, okay, so they got Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne for the UK Championship. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I never seen the UK tournament. Kill me now. But I never seen it. It was happening during a very busy time in my life. And it was a 2-day thing. Happened on the weekends where I'm always busy because of work. So I never got to see it. Hopefully. Honestly, to be honest, probably will never see it. I didn't hear the best things about it. I heard day 1 was trash. Day 2 was great. So, I already, the fact that I know the outcomes doesn't really help at all either. But Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne, going into this absolutely blind as I am for all these matches. Pete Dunne is winning because I heard such great things about Pete Dunne. I seen his match with Mark Andrews. That guy's a complete monster. Tyler Bate is very good as well, but Pete Dunne has the more momentum to him. So I would give it to Pete Dunne. The authors of these are all championship matches on here too. I'm sure they'll throw something with Sanity on here. Actually, yeah, just because Ruby, Nikki Cross is whatever. The Authors of Pain versus DIY. This is probably a ladder match. Oh, shit. Do I have DIY winning this one too? I might. I would give this one to DIY because it's a ladder match. It helps the Authors of Pain stay strong, and DIY still, they got to grab the. This feud can't be going on forever. You know what I mean? And I just love DIY, and this is probably going to be match of the night, if not Tyler Bate. Yeah, this is a good card. This is a great card. They always manage to do it, and I'm going to have my friends watch this with me who never really seen NXT like that. And EJ might be up here as well, which is Eddie. He's the person who was on the first 2 episodes of the podcast that I'm dying for him to come, and he will be over here soon, come September, August. But as far as now, he might pop up every now and then in the summer, but he might be up here, which indicates that we will have a review of this podcast, of this pay-per-view. So be very, very, very excited for that and be on the lookout for that one. But I got DIY. I think it's right for them. And I don't think any of these 2 teams could be moving up just because the NXT division needs them just as much as the main roster does. So now we got Asuka versus Ruby Riott versus Nikki Cross for the NXT Women's Championship. I have Asuka. I don't think she's losing yet. Ruby Riott is cool. Nikki Cross is cool, but they're not going to be the ones taking it from her. If anything, it would have been Ember Moon, and unfortunately, she got hurt. So hopefully, I say Ember Moon come the NXT Brooklyn 3. That's going to be the moment to take it, and I'll probably end up being at that show too. So it's going to be very, very lit because that was her debut, and it would just come full circle, and she'll win the championship 365 days later in wrestling ideology. Bobby Roode versus Hideo Itami. For me, this is a hard one. Do you give it to Hideo Itami so soon after coming back, even though he more than deserves it? That roster, that main roster for the top title, that's what NXT almost needs another title, a mid-card title, because this main roster is just the top tier level of guys. The Roderick Strong is there, Tommy End is there, Hideo Itami, Bobby Roode, Eric Young. I'm missing a bunch more right now that I just can't think of. I might have to look up their roster just because I don't want to disrespect them at all. You know what I mean? Like, the talent is there. They don't, WWE could really use some of these superstars right now. So they might just get the title off Roode so they could promote him and get him, to the main roster right away. Let me see if I could get all the talent. We got, I called him Tommy, and Aleister Black, Andrade, who should probably move up now, Bobby Roode, Eric Young, Drew McIntyre, how'd I forget him, Hideo Itami, Roderick Strong. You know what I mean? They got tons of talent and they only got more talent coming if my man Adam Cole's going to be there, then that's another talent that has to be pushed to the main event scene. I for the fuck of it, I got Hideo Itami. I'm probably wrong, but I got Hideo Itami. That's my predictions on NXT TakeOver Chicago. 20 minutes in, haven't talked a lick about Raw, SmackDown. Life is good. And I still got, I think, 2 more news I want to cover. The first one is a movie star who just happened to be a wrestler back in the day. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. News of him trying to, run for president. What's my thoughts on that? You know what? If this presidency of the United States has went from, politicians to celebrities, if I had only celebrity options, sure, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock would be cool. That would be great. But in all reality, we need a president that knows what the hell he's doing. I'm not going to give my thoughts on this president, but by my tone, you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Our president of the United States right now got stunned by Steve Austin, Stone Cold. If our next president is another one who got stunned by Stone Cold, then Lord save us all. We should just as well have Stone Cold as the next president, because he's the one that's defeated all of the goddamn presidents so far, I guess. You know what I mean? It's just whatever you want to take from it. Again, if we're talking celebrities, then what's a better president than The Rock? But if we're talking reality, which this conversation goes from, fantasy WWE to political very quick and very real very quick. And I'm not big on politics either way. I don't like them. You know what I mean? I know just as much as the average person does when it comes to politics, but I think the average person should know that we need real politicians. I mean, maybe we don't. You know what? Maybe that's not what we need. Maybe we need real people over real politicians, because these politicians are corrupt and they're terrible human beings. So maybe we should just have genuinely good people, even though we don't have that right now. Two people in the office, but nevertheless, so you know what? Maybe see it as that, but still, I hear that isn't Dwayne Johnson a Republican? So will we have to wait 8 years for that? Why? Why would The Rock want to do this? Is my question. Because my man is making money. He's making money. He's the highest grossing actor, male actor in general. Baywatch is going to be a hit because of him. Every movie he's in is a hit because of him. Moana, huge hit because of him. You put anybody else in that position, it's going to make money because it's Disney. But you put The Rock in that position, and it's going to make money because it is The Rock. My man is a walking dollar sign. The president barely makes $500K a year. So, I don't know. And do I want him to be president? I would rather say no. I'll pass. Thank you, though. He's a good human being, and he's very genuine. So I would never knock him for that. Never knock him for trying to help or, trying to maybe benefit us. But I'd say, don't try to get into a league that you're not ready for or know anything about. Maybe he does. You know what? Maybe I seen Sal Monster. I was going to say, book him, but I seen Sal Monster basically say, if you're real serious about it, run for governor first, do the Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then you could run for president, get some experience, and I'll be cool with that then. But still, I enjoy Rock coming back to WWE. I enjoy Rock in these movies. I don't want to see him as president. So if that's just doing it for my own will and for my own enjoyment, maybe that's what it is. But also for the sake of humanity. Because celebrities don't belong in the office, the Oval Office. Nevertheless, let's not get too political here. I also want to discuss another movie star. Damn, I'm really talking about everything except Raw and SmackDown. Another movie star. Dave Bautista. So, yesterday, my local movie theater has $5 Tuesdays. So, I was over there. I couldn't see Guardians of the Galaxy last week. So, or last 2 weeks in this matter. So, I was able to see it yesterday. For the first time with some friends. God damn it, that movie was awesome. Probably one of my favorite movies of the year by far, if not my favorite. And Batista, you are absolutely great. You were hilarious as Drax. You played the role to a T. I mean, it doesn't take much, I'm not going to say talent, but much, it's not like a very diverse role. He just has to play a dummy, alternatively, and that. So he literally played exactly what he was as Devon's bodyguard, in some sort of sense. But the shit was hilarious. Shit was absolutely comical. It was great. I enjoyed every minute of it. He was one of my favorites in the movie. He was probably, if my friends were here, they would probably say he was their favorite. He might be mine as well. Comedy was on point, and I just want to give a shout out to Batista because that acting thing I didn't think was going to pan out, just like your MMA career. But, you know what? You just became, I don't know if you become a star. I don't know if you could do exactly what The Rock did, because you never had The Rock's charisma like he did, but you could have fooled me watching Guardians of the Galaxy. So, big shout out to Dave Bautista. Great shit from you. Great shit from you. With all that being said, guys, I think it's time to, I can't avoid it. I can't avoid it no more longer. I can't avoid it much longer. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Once again, I thought it was a pretty goddamn good episode. I didn't watch it while it was live. So, unfortunately, I knew some spoilers, which I hate. I hate spoilers with my whole heart. But it started with Kurt Angle announcing a fatal 5-way for the number 1 contender shot of Brock Lesnar's championship. Let me just get comfortable real quick. You're going to hear me move around a little bit. I think I got like ADHD or ADD, and I just keep moving every 2 seconds, but that's just who I am. All right, so he announced a fatal 5-way for the number 1 contender come Great Balls of Fire for Brock Lesnar championship. This match involved Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, Finn Balor. Let's see if I can name all of them off the top of my head. Wow. Is that really what I'm stuck with? Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt. Who else closed the show? God damn it. Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins. There you go. And all of them come out. And it just kind of leads to... It's just a classic. Everybody comes out. Everybody starts fighting. What came out of this was a few matches. And it was Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins. So let's talk about Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor first. It happened later in the day, but I like kind of skipping ahead and teasing the greatness in the very beginning, because this was an absolute great match. Roman Reigns showed very much of a heel side in this match, and he was the heel during this match for sure. Now, does it matter? Because in all reality, he's not going to be a heel. I wish he could be this, just a guy who's not a tweener, but just, it doesn't matter what he is. He's a monster. I think that's what he should be, like he was when he savaged Triple H. Like, that was not a face thing to do. That was a heel thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, I wish he could just be this, which is an absolute monster, and not cut these childlike promos. But nevertheless, he showed much of a very heel side during this match. He set Balor near the post and hit a drive-by, which was something new that I haven't seen. And it really proved that Roman Reigns is a great wrestler. Say whatever you want. He is a great wrestler. Honestly, my absolute favorite from the Shield. He put on the best matches from that whole Shield. I think that's not a question. Dean Ambrose, he has had, off the top of my head, he has had great matches with Seth Rollins a few times. He had a great match with Triple H. He had an okay match with Kevin Owens, Bray Wyatt. But when we talk about Roman Reigns, he had great matches with Finn Balor, great matches with AJ Styles, better matches than Dean Ambrose had with AJ Styles. Great matches with Daniel Bryan. Great, like he had a great match with the Big Show, for Christ's sake. Only him and Braun Strowman was able to do that. Seth Rollins, yes, he probably has the best wrestling skill, but his matches with Samoa Joe have been boring. He had great matches with Dean Ambrose. He had a very good match against Triple H. Probably my favorite match of the whole WrestleMania. Better than, obviously Roman Reigns had the worst match with Triple H. But I just think he produces better quality matches day in and day out. He had a great... Roman Reigns had a great match with Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins really didn't. We haven't seen Roman Reigns versus John Cena. We have seen Seth Rollins versus John Cena. I just think Roman Reigns is better. I know it's silent right now, but I think Roman Reigns is the best member from the Shield. I give him shit on things that isn't his fault, like his character. I think he plays his part very well. He plays a savage Samoan very well. He does not play Make-A-Wish superstar very well, but as far as what his character should be, he can play that perfectly. And they just got to give him a chance too. And I'm not going to go over this every fucking podcast, but it needs to happen. It needs to happen. You guys think he's the best member from the Shield, or are you guys still on that we hate Roman, he's a terrible wave? Because I never was on that one. But nevertheless, it was a great match. It ended no surprise, Roman winning with a spear, and it was the first time Finn Balor was pinned. I hate that it came now at a pointless Raw. Hate that it came from Roman Reigns, but I guess it had to happen. Roman Reigns was supposed to be hurt. Supposed to be injured. It's kind of pathetic he beat Finn Balor, but it is what it is. I don't know what else you guys expected. I'm not going to just redig the same holes. It is what it is. Roman Reigns won, and he wins. That's what he does. Off to Rollins and Wyatt. It was a pretty decent match as well. It wasn't as good as Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns, hint, hint. But it ended with Samoa Joe coming out. This is why it wasn't a good match, a great match, because I knew the ending before it started. Samoa Joe came out, basically tried to slaughter Rollins. Him and Wyatt teamed up to destroy Rollins and whatnot, but as soon as they kind of got a game plan ready and, they looked at each other to indicate that they were going to work together, Bray Wyatt being what he should be, Sister Abigail Samoa Joe, Sister Abigail said to Rollins, and that's how it should have gone. Bray Wyatt stood tall to end Monday Night Raw, which is good, which is perfect, because Bray Wyatt doesn't need nobody except his family, whether he wants his family or not. He doesn't need anybody. He is not a face. He is not a heel. He is Bray Wyatt. That's exactly how Roman Reigns should be depicted, and that's exactly how Roman Reigns should be. Yeah, you kind of see where I'm going here. The days of the face and heels are done. They're out the way. Nobody likes Seth Rollins now that he's face. He's not a good character. Kevin Owens is loved because he's a real character, even though he is a heel. Chris Jericho, even when he did turn face, he was kind of just the same person he was when he was heel, just going after heel opponents. So, your character is more important than your swing of things. With that being said, I want to discuss something. And it happened right before Rollins and Wyatt, and it was Titus O'Neil. Who the hell thought I'd be talking about this? But Enzo and Cass came out to have a match, and it was against Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews came out. Titus O'Neil, very comically and very funny, came out to mock Enzo and Cass's entrance. The whole, this right here is Apollo Crews. And he did it in his way of things, and it was hilarious. Came out in a suit, and he basically said that Apollo Crews is going to beat Enzo up and defeat him. Meanwhile, Cass said, "No, I actually got a match with you right now, Titus." And Titus is like, "Oh, no, I'm in my suit. You're joking. This is not going to happen right now." But it did. And after a very funny segment that killed some time that I actually enjoyed, very quickly Cass destroyed Titus O'Neil. This led to Enzo wanting to take a selfie with Titus on the floor and Apollo Crews trying to help him. And Apollo Crews wasn't having that. He hit an enziguri on him. And Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil are a force. They might be a tag team now. And I like this. You know what? The tag team division needs as much people as they can. And if the mid-card has enough, and if the main event scene has enough, then fill those people that have nothing going for them in the tag team division. And I think that's what we should be doing. That's how you utilize them. Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews is a way to get Apollo Crews over. And it's a way to do something with Titus O'Neil. I'm sounding very aggressive now. I'm sorry. But I like this. I like this a lot. And last week, I would have told you this. 2 weeks ago, I would have told you I hate this. I hate this a lot. And my opinion switched just like that because they're doing something right. Apollo Crews is not liked. Not because of his skill. Once again, because of his character. He's a smiley, go-happy guy. Turn him heel. I want to see the heel side of him. It's like TJ Perkins, like Neville, like all these superstars that we have. Like they should do with Roman Reigns. Once again, beating up a dead horse here. But yeah, I like this. I enjoyed this very much so. And yeah, so that's my thoughts on that as well. Another good segment. I mean, look at this. It's just the goods are coming in. And Jeff Hardy. It was the first match of the day. Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. I'm not gonna say it was a great match, but it was a very good match, and it was a match that proved Jeff Hardy still got it. And after a botched bro kick on Matt Hardy off the apron, Sheamus landed into a twist of fate, and it was a smooth match. It was a very good match. I'm into this feud, and I'm into the Hardys. They're wrestling, and I'm into the heel Sheamus and Cesaro. I'm very much into it. Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks, and this is where we're going to talk about some negatives real quick. Don't remember the match. Was barely paying attention to the match, but I remember a big thing, and it was Alicia Fox winning clean. What the hell are we doing now? After a Raw of a whole bunch of good decisions and correct booking, Alicia Fox defeating Sasha Banks. Now, I'm in my contradiction because I like the fact Jinder won his match, and, he was a jobber alternatively. But doing that, it was a fatal 5-way, or fatal 4-way, whatever the hell it was. It didn't really affect anything. You know what I mean? It was just, not the luck, but it was anybody could win, and anybody did win. Alicia Fox defeating Sasha Banks is comical, and I hate this. Absolutely hate this. That's my take on that. I'm not talking more about it. I don't want to dive too deep because, fuck, man. Another match that I was not really feeling too much, at least, The Miz versus Dean Ambrose. Miz hit a skull-crushing finale, and it actually wasn't enough. And Dean Ambrose kicked out. It was an okay match, actually. I'm gassing it. It was a pretty good match. After Marie's trying to distract, Marie's trying to distract, I think the referee it was. Miz went for a low blow. Dean countered and hit a low blow himself, getting him disqualified. And Miz basically asked Kurt Angle for, after a few segments down the road, he asked for a match where Dean Ambrose couldn't retain his title, so basically heelish. So I forgot the match that Kurt Angle announced exactly. Let me see if I could find it real quick. Let me see. Dean Ambrose versus Miz. Okay, it's just if Ambrose is disqualified, he will lose the title. So nothing crazy with a stipulation. But as far as all these stipulations, every match is kind of getting one. Actually, looking at it now, I guess not. I thought I could have sworn it was more than what it was, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, so it's going to be, if Ambrose is disqualified, he will lose the title come Extreme Rules. I just hope The Miz wins. I'm tired of Dean Ambrose. Once again, he doesn't really have too much intrigue from me right now. He should have stayed on SmackDown, in my opinion, but it is what it is. Now, off to the women's division. The good part of the women's division. Alexa Bliss. She comes out to cut a promo, and so does Bayley. She announces that she's going to invoke her rematch clause come Extreme Rules. And basically, Bliss said, you don't have what it takes to go to that level. You're a kid. You're baby. You're soft. You don't have what it takes to go extreme. Don't ask for a match against me. Blah, blah, blah. And then this leads to Bayley trying to attack Alexa Bliss, and it does work until Bliss grabs a kendo stick. And she kind of evens out all levels, leaves Bayley on the floor, and yeah, This leads to Bayley talking to Kurt Angle in the back, saying, you know what, I'll give you your shot, and you'll get it, and Alexa Bliss will not be able to use the kendo stick. I promise it's going to be a regular match. Don't worry about it. And Bayley actually shows some fire in her, and she says, no, I want to prove that I can go to the extreme. Give me a match. Give me an extreme match. I want this. Kurt Angle says, I got the perfect idea. A kendo stick on a pole match. How is this a perfect idea? I'm not too sure. I don't know. I don't really like these on a pole matches in general. Yeah, I don't know. It just is stupid. It's so stupid. It's not like if you get the kendo stick, you win. It's literally like you get the kendo stick, you got to use it as a weapon. So what? I don't feel this. I don't like this. I don't mind them going extreme. I think that's dope. That's a cool concept. But a kendo stick on a pole match? You serious? You could have thought of so many other options. But whatever. I'm not gonna really go too crazy in depth about that either. Now off to the cruiserweights. We had, I think this might actually be the last thing I talk about. Let me see. There's one more thing, actually, I think. But, Austin Aries and Jack Gallagher versus Neville and TJ Perkins. Actually, a very good match that ended up getting CM Punk chance, of course. But a very good match. I was watching this with my friends, and they were into it. They thought Jack Gallagher was cool. They thought Neville was great. Like, they were really enjoying this match, and so was I. One thing they pointed out that they hated, which I could totally agree with, TJ Perkins got to stop with all this goddamn dabbing. Okay, dabbing isn't really a thing anymore either way, as I am 18 years old and very in tune with the hip-hop culture. Dabbing really isn't a thing. That was a few years ago. Migos made that popping. Shout out to Quavo and the God himself, Takeoff. And we never leave out Offset. But, yeah, no, you got to stop with the dabbing. He's not cool. And I guess because he's a heel now, he could do it because it does draw heat, and that's his purpose, but he just looks stupid, and it's terrible. But this ended with TJ Perkins hitting the detonation kick on Jack Gallagher, I'm pretty sure. And basically, he said that he won that match by himself, and Neville said, after the match, they attacked Austin Aries' leg, but they said that, the mission isn't over yet until Austin Aries he can't walk, until they destroy his leg. I don't know if anything happened on 205 Live, because once again, I don't watch 205 Live, because this doesn't engage me enough to. Last thing I'm going to talk about is one of the things that happened on Raw, and I'm not going to go in depth on it. Goldust turned heel on R-Truth. I'm going to give that a shout out just because it's something. It's effort, at least, It's an idea that they're at least trying to do. So, shout out to that. But as far as that goes, that is my Raw review. Once again, a good show. A very good show, in my opinion. Even the Miz Dean match, which I had some criticism for, it wasn't bad. The Cruiserweight match was good. Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks was the worst thing out of the whole thing. And then the decision to have Bayley in a kendo stick on a pole match is kind of foolish as well, but of course, it's Monday Night Raw. It's not going to be all fun and lollipops and unicorns and happiness and, good things all the time. But nevertheless, it was better than a SmackDown Live, which I don't want to discuss. Yeah. So I'm going to pass on that, and I just want to discuss Backlash. And, I want to discuss what my predictions are for Backlash. And I think this is a very, very, very good card. Is that surprising? Because we have Jinder Mahal against Randy Orton and the Fashion Police against the Usos. It shouldn't be surprising. Because, listen, it's a solid-ass card. It's a SmackDown card indeed, but it's a solid-ass card. We have Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan, which is probably my least exciting match. But it got a pre-show match on it. Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English. Easy win for Ty Dillinger. Next, Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan. Luke Harper's momentum has been monumentally down, and it's been very bad. Eric Rowan is never going to be good. There really has been no building towards this match either. But I don't want to discuss this that much. Luke Harper. Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin. You could beat Sami Zayn 1,000,000 times, and it's not really going to matter. Truthfully. I hate to say it, but he's that type of character. This is hard, though, because Sami Zayn might need a win at this point. But I'm going to go with Baron Corbin. I think it's going to be a good match, though. Sami Zayn is going to... He's quality. That guy is quality, and Baron Corbin is he's a very workable wrestler. He can go. So I think he's going to have no problem working with Sami Zayn. I think Baron Corbin's going to win. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler, the Shinsuke Nakamura debut. Although this hasn't been built the best, as ironically SmackDown hasn't really been building a lot of these matches so far the best. But I got Shinsuke winning. This might be match of the night, though, because these two can have a hell of a match. Dolph Ziggler is still a hell of a performer, and hopefully this could put him back on the map. After this, maybe feud with Sami Zayn. After that, maybe feud with AJ Styles, I think Dolph Ziggler should be more worthy, more deserving than what he is shown to be. He could have a feud with Ty Dillinger. He can just, all right, listen, even if he loses every match, he's going to put on a hell of a matches. He is that show-off. He's that performer. Like Shawn Michaels is. I mean, Shawn Michaels didn't have to win every match, but he was the showstopper. He was the attention getter. Dolph Ziggler, he has the potential to be that same value. So he's going to put on a show with Shinsuke Nakamura, and I hope he eventually falls on the right path, but Shinsuke is winning this match without a doubt. Naomi, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch versus the worst name in the whole business of wrestling, the Welcoming Committee. Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina with James Ellsworth. I say we're going to have a twist here. So far, what I fantasy booked was literally everything that happened so far. I said the Welcoming Committee should interrupt Naomi and Charlotte's match. They did that. I said Becky Lynch should come out the next week. They did that. And now my final thing was Becky Lynch turning heel. I was watching SmackDown and I was like, all right, maybe Charlotte should turn heel. Not turn heel, but, just reclaim that heel spot. But then, in theory, that wouldn't make sense. They ruined her title shot. They attacked her. And I guess you can have if you can't beat them, join them. But, no. I think Becky Lynch should be the one turning heel. But thinking about it now, what if Naomi did it? In theory, that wouldn't make sense either, because that's the champion that all these girls wanted. So Naomi would probably be the least person to do it. But I think Becky Lynch should do it. And people don't want Becky Lynch to turn heel. People don't want Charlotte to turn face. I think we need something new. And I'm not one of those people. Charlotte is a natural heel. She is a great heel. Let her be face for a few months. She could turn heel later. That's what I think should happen. And if no heels turn happen, then okay, that's cool too. You know what? That's fine. But as far as this match goes, I got the Welcoming Committee. With a twist at the end. Or either way, I feel like a twist is coming. Now, what I think should automatically be match of the night: Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles. It's gonna be a hard contest for match of the night with this and Shinsuke and Dolph. Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles has such potential. Now, the only thing I can see this taken away from match of the night is going to be the finish, because I think Kevin Owens is sticking on to that championship. I think AJ Styles will be off to bigger and better things come SummerSlam, and he'll fight for that main title. Whether it's winning the Money in the Bank or doing this or doing that. I'd have Kevin Owens keeping the championship. I don't know as far as I say winning. I think the finish might be a little screwy. But yeah, I got Kevin Owens winning. This is going to be a hell of a match, though, and I'm so excited for it. A match that I'm very excited for as well. The Usos versus Breezango, the Fashion Police, who have been built incredible. The Fashion Files is funny. A few months ago, I said that the Fashion Police could really get this gimmick over. And what have they done? They got this gimmick over. But this doesn't mean to destroy every other tag team. Ascension, American Alpha. All these other tag teams are being hindered just due to your main performers. This should not happen. Where is American Alpha? Are they just off the face of the universe now? Give them a squash match. Let them show their talent. Put them against the Colognes. I know we've seen that already. Put it against the Singh brothers. Why are the Singh brothers just interfering into matches? Once again, another tag team that I'm glad is there because they could be inputted into the division. The Singh brothers. Have them take over the tag team division with Ginger's help rather than the opposite. You know, we got a whole bunch of things we could do. Nevertheless, Breezango been built great. Usos, you're cutting hell of a promos. It might get a little old, this whole Eat Your Vitamins promos, but I'm liking it. I'm liking the Usos' intensity. And to be honest, I think I could hear the same promos from them time after time after time. Their promo against American Alpha still sticks in my head. And I like it. I like the aggressiveness. And I don't know who the hell is who, but they're both pretty damn good. But I got Breezango winning. This is my heart talking over my brains here, but Breezango, I'm such a fan of them. As I've been saying for the longest of times, Tyler Breeze is amazing. Fandango, I think he can. I haven't really seen too much of him, but I hear he's great. So, Breezango for the win. Please, please, please. The main event, Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. Who the hell would have thought we would be saying those words? But we are. And who do I have? Before I get into who I have, let me just say that Jinder Mahal has the mission worked? Has the game plan worked? Has he been built like a main star? No, not per se. Could have been built a little better, but nevertheless, a star was built. Well, not a star, but a person that wasn't supposed to be in the main event scene was built. I think he should be in the mid-card scene, and he could do something there. So hopefully that happens in the future. But as far as this match goes, I have Randy Orton. I wouldn't mind Jinder Mahal winning, because I think Randy Orton is a lousy champion, especially as a face. But I have him winning. And I also think, you know what? This might have a screwy finish to it as well. I would not be surprised if Rusev came out. Rusev came out to feud with Jinder, well, to just completely leave everybody flat, leading into Jinder Mahal versus Rusev for the number one contender. Rusev winning and having Randy Orton face Rusev at Money in the Bank. Personally, I think that's how I'd book it, and that's literally how I said to book it a few months ago. How ironic. Before Rusev even announced he wants the title shot at Money in the Bank. So, yeah, I got Randy Orton walking out as champion, though. Winning the match. So, that is my Backlash predictions. Excited for this weekend. I'm going to watch with some friends, and I'm going to have them here with me to give my review on both the TakeOver show and Backlash. So, definitely be on the lookout for that come this weekend. Thank you guys for listening. My podcast has been getting the most love out of all my podcasts. And I do have more. I do have an NBA one and an MMA one, so definitely be on the lookout for those as well. If you're subscribed to the channel, if you follow the channel, you'll see those pop up on your feed as well. So click on those if you're into them. But thank you for the support. Keep watching. Keep doing all that. Once again, SoundCloud might be getting these episodes earlier just because it's easier to post on SoundCloud than YouTube. YouTube takes forever in a day, but I will be trying to post on both. I didn't get the last episode on YouTube. I probably am not going to, unfortunately. So if you are listening on YouTube and you want to hear some previous thoughts on, if you want to hear episode 20, because episode 20 is missing, check out the SoundCloud. You can find all these accounts under the name AllOfTheAboveEnt on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud. With all that being said, my voice is really not getting raspy, but my throat's getting very dry. So thank you guys for listening once again. I appreciate it dearly. Just show your love, show your support. What's your predictions for Backlash? Let me know down below. What's your take on all the news I covered? Do you think Braun Strowman injury is a fluke or is it not? Let me know down below once again. Thank you guys for listening. I am the voice of the youth Christian, and I am signing out. Thank you.